Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all okay. And tonight is a very extreme stream because my heating is broken. So I just removed my hat and my gloves. So it's pretty cold in here. But yeah, I just had a sip of tea, and hopefully I can get it through, no problem. So welcome everyone for this presentation. And for this stream, and we are just gonna take the previous file that we have from some last time, and again this is about PDF streaks, so the core elements, the core reasons to why PDF is so easy to manipulate and how that can lead to a lot of abuses in different ways. So again, as we kind of started to explore, PDF is super easy to control, gives a lot of control. And here I have a file with the original file. So if I change something, hopefully it should update directly, And one thing that is clearly visible from the very beginning is that, for example, if a PDF, you remove the xref entirely, then it will still work. So this will be silently recovered. Maybe if we do no static ref pointer, then that will be valid too. It's like you can really chop a lot of it, legs and everything, no static ref, and hopefully it still works. So again, that's a lot of control you have. You can even remove the size here, which gives the number of objects you have in the PDF, so that now you can add more objects as much as you want, and it will still be no problem, no size. So I'm just updating every time so that you can see that indeed it's taken into account, and this file will also open fine in hi Tyler. This file will also open fine in a PDF viewer. And again, you could move these objects around. You can remove the length of the stream. This will work fine. And you can move the objects around as long as the numbers have the right object. There's no need for the current different order. So I'm changing again every time so that you can see that the file updates, even though the orders are the same. And I could completely skip entirely an amount of objects as long as the reference is correct. Again, 9999, and now it updates. So basically, you can move around, you can create objects with whatever you want. You can really move a lot of stuff everywhere, and the file still works fine. Again, white space is super flexible. Usually it's not great for hacking. One thing that is pretty useful for hacking is that if you suddenly want a very precise alignment of something, then you start counting the bytes. You give an arbitrary name, and then you give it 0. That's a name of 0 and something. And the name will be very likely kept exactly as is. So basically that enables you to plan the exact byte alignment for something by just adding a dummy value. This is a small trick that I used ages ago when planning hash collisions. Again, you can put everything with whatever new line character. And I remind you that the new lines character are, let's see, where is it? Null, so 00, which is a bit unusual first, form feed, 0C, tab, and the usual new line, carry return, and line feed, and also space. So basically, if you put another character like, let's see, if you put this is a list of all the characters that are non-printable. So this is a single line. I just added a line comment with all the characters that are non-printable and no new lines. You see, it's still the same line. This will be a funky new line, and that will work fine. Okay? Any question at this stage? Approval late? Arriving later, yes, sorry, maybe I started earlier. Again, I'm freezing. I have no heating, so it's kind of my excuse to say I can't wait that it's starting because I just removed my glasses, my gloves, and my hat. But yeah, my heating is broken, so it's an extreme proper um, stream tonight. So, for example, here is the form feed, which is considered a valid white space. So basically, if we just put white space in between, this should be still valid, even though this will be very unusual for. So if we say form feed, the file still works, and you could have a PDF file without any, maybe without any space at all, because everything will be the white space. I mean, would be white space, but not the space, the classic space. But maybe that will work. I don't know. Let's try. That's the thing, right? You can very try easily. So form feed, no space, and this works. So basically, you could have a PDF maybe without any space if that suits your need, and you can also add again a null character, form feed, and also tab. So you can have all this mixed, and this will be still valid because all this is considered white space. No big deal, but still it already shows you the amount of flexibility you have with PDF parsing. Now, another thing that we have is what should we do next? What did I write down? Silent. So again, as you would see, all this is always silently recovered. So if we open this file in Adobe Reader, this works hopefully fine. Oh, I did a mistake. I did something that he didn't like. Funny. So you see, sometimes some readers are happy, sometimes they are not. Let's try something different. Maybe it's around here that he doesn't like this kind of white space. So here, Adobe Reader isn't happy while the other are. So while, for example, Sumatra is happy. Let's try again with Adobe Reader. And this time it works. Again, no warning, silent recovery. I remind you that this file doesn't have any xref, doesn't have any, I removed so many kinds of elements, The only thing I remember that is worth maybe keeping, because Apple OS 6 viewer, PDF viewer, used to be very picky regarding the count, even though the number of objects in the kids array is right there. But yeah, I remember that being important for Adobe Reader, for Apple OS 6 Reader, but I'm not sure about that right now. So now, so you see that, and again, this file will open without any warning. And the only thing that Adobe tells you to say this file is maybe a bit incorrect is when you close it, and then it gives you want to save changes. I didn't make any change, but basically it enables you to recreate a very bloated PDF with more or less the same content. But that's the way that Adobe tells you that this file is not standard, but it still open it silently without any warning, So what's next? Any questions at this stage? Which other readers? I'm using all the readers. I'm not showing them. So the question is, which other reader are you using? And to be honest, when I plan my first big project with a worldwide impact, my first big PDF abuse with worldwide impact was the shattered hash collision for SHA-1 in 2017. It started in 2015, and basically I tried just every reader. And if you're not familiar with proof of concept or get the fuck out, POC or GTFO, the publication, I actually have a repository. I'm going to give you the link right now on this, and a lot of files in the past. Most of this, the file of this publication are polyglots. So basically, let's check. We have a lot of compatibility problems. So our Q&A regarding all the readers even covers stuff like Kindle, Android reader, and very a lot of variety of PDFs. So at some point we have this very complex over several platform, complex review of all the PDF reader that you can think of. I mean, not all the PDF reader, but all the engines. So that's POC or GTFO, and many of these issues are extreme polyglots and everything, So I mean, maybe you don't know about it, so then have a look. The SHA-1 collision is there, and that was but the SHA-1 thing was maybe my initial public uh, uh, PDF abuse that affected, well, that was aimed at all the readers everywhere. And to be honest, because we couldn't make it very compatible with all the readers, then we ended up abusing JPEG images inside the PDF reader, because the compatibility between all the readers with the hash collision was not good enough. So I hope that answers your question. Now we're back, and as you can see, I have this line with the line comment percent that just tells whatever is there until the end of the new line is there. And here, this is literally all the characters, so call control and ASCII, and also non-printable and of the second of the code page that you can put there. It's a single line, and yet it doesn't disturb the whole parsing at all, even though that's almost all the binaries except the two new line characters. So now let's go back to our file, and now the first very, very, very clear, easy abuse that it's totally overlooked. The specification tells you that the PDF signature should be at offset 0. But in practice, this is wrong. And there is an addendum from Adobe that says Adobe Reader actually checks for the signature within the first kilobyte. So that means that whatever you put before, even though there is no comment, so for example, if I put that and there's no new line comment, this will still works just because the signature is there. So sig not at 0, and we reload, and you see it works. So why? Why? So first, it means that whatever you put that is not a PDF signature, no matter what, before the PDF signature, but whatever binary content you put, as long as it doesn't contain the PDF signature, will be ignored until the PDF signature. And again, this would also mean that the offset don't need to be readjusted, because it will the reader should consider the start of the PDF file at the start of the first occurrence of the signature. Now there is a historical reason behind that. Very long ago, when PDF Reader was first Adobe Reader, it used to be called Acrobat Reader, and then it was commercial first, and then it became free. But none of the browsers, when browser was still new already, were supporting PDF readers. So basically, when you would open a PDF file, that would not be how can I say that the browsers who didn't know what a PDF file was, and again, this is at the time without much internet, without an easy way to update things, So basically, even browsers were hard to update. And basically, browsers would open PDF files and display all the binary garbage without any warning. And not to scare away, Adobe created this feature so that you could create a HTML page before your PDF and open this file in a PDF reader. You could have such a thing, like such a message, and this is a rough example, but that would enable people to understand that, and first to stop the browser from parsing the whole file, to display the whole file and just display something that would be that would still keep the PDF file valid. So now HTML, as you can see, even if there is something that is totally not a PDF before the PDF signature, as long as it's less than 1 kilobyte, then it's fine that it's there. So very abused. You concatenate a small file, a small payload, a small binary before a PDF, it will work. Now there is one non-official extension to that, but it's already been 10 years ago, at least, that it's there. Adobe Reader eventually decided that it would be dangerous. It would be too easy just to append a PDF to a small Windows executable, to a small PNG file or whatever. So basically what happens now is that Adobe Reader blacklists known signatures of known file formats there, but it's not a part of the spec and it's not clearly official. So basically, if you had the MZ signature of a Windows executable, this will work because this is not Adobe, I expect. But if you open this file now in Adobe Reader, it will give you a warning that is not very clear, but basically that's because of the signature of a Windows executable. And now if I type MZ with a lowercase, which is not the DOS executable signature, then it works. And now for extra fun is that the old DOS executable, DOS, not P, we used to work with ZM because of the unclear NDNS and ZM, while it was a executable, DOS executable and not a P signature. It's not a P signature, but it used to be a valid DOS signature. And this, I would assume, works under Adobe just because they have no, there is no importance to blacklist the old, lesser known DOS signature. So again, whatever comes here, there's no need for line comment. Comes here is ignored until 1 kilobyte, even binary or whatever. But again, everything like a PNG signature, so 89 PNG, or a JPEG FFD8, or a MZ signature ELF, this kind of signatures will be very likely blacklisted. Any questions at this stage? Hopefully, I'm just getting some hot water. Yeah. This kind of. So Tyler mentioned that people were concatenating PDF to a small JPEG, so that of course it would be a valid JPEG. I mean, and the PDF would open until on most readers, and then but the file would be detected as JPEG. To be honest, this kind of trick was used everywhere, including a very tiny PNG with chunks of video files on Google Drive. So it's like a huge, and people would just gather that a lot of big chunks of movies behind a small PNG, and then there is a playlist that just loads this file remotely, and you can basically watch the whole film, except that not every I don't know how many minutes there is a tiny PNG content that will be skipped. So yes, it's concatenating data to whatever small file is always a way to hide data, which makes appended data pretty dangerous for copyright reasons or information leaks. Indeed. So now we covered the recovery, the file object, and what I call a cavity. So the cavity is, or again, this space of 1 kilobyte, and that's pretty scary thing. I mean, it's something that is not clear in the spec, and this is not in the spec, and that is often overlooked. And while it's been there all the time, pretty scary stuff, even though pretty basic and very powerful. Except that there is now again the Adobe version of it that inserts some blacklisting of signatures. But if you would append the PDF to a lesser known file format, I don't know, Lepton or BPG or JNG, then most likely Adobe will not detect that, and your bypass is working. And again, those files may be detected by file, libmagic. So maybe that will make this file detected as something else that is not a PDF. So another way to hide your ebooks, Tyler. Now, another thing is the signature itself. While it's actually possible to cut some piece, cut sig, and you can cut it with 1 byte, but you can actually cut it to something even smaller. Let me grab this file. Where is it? I'm going to grab the null file, the null byte again, and the null byte should be here. I cannot see it, But if I just cut it and put it here, so it's, oh, how was it? Was it this? PDF 1.0? I don't remember, sorry. My memory is a bit blurry. That works. And does that work under Adobe? Yes, it works with Adobe. So basically, even a signature of person PDF dash null character is considered a valid PDF signature. Even though it's completely outside the spec, it should be dash 1 point or 2 point something. So another way to shorten things and to save some data, a trick that I use so that you could have something like 1, 0, obj, and that should be exactly 16 bytes. So basically, you could start an object content very, very early in the file in the first 16 bytes, which is the size of encryption block of AES. So this is something I abused in the past. So the signature can also be truncated itself, as we just saw. Yeah, that's another pretty scary stuff that will never be fixed. And this one, I have no valid reason why it still can be that bad, So let's see again if I'm not wrong. Indeed, it definitely works. It's still surprising. PDF percent, it's like really truncated, but it works. What's wrong there? So, any questions at this stage? Okay. So another thing that is I'm probably the last thing, but so much powerful, is that basically you can put any kind of objects of any size, and that's so powerful. Basically, you just need an object number that is not used, and maybe probably a generation number just work. Let's try with a generation number. So object stream. Oh, I think in some readers you need a dictionary here, even though the dictionary can be empty. But I think some readers require an object. They don't like that it's just object then stream. Whatever. Okay. So, but I might be wrong, although it might have changed. And then whatever is here. Question from Marwan Z. Yes. Are you a malware analyst? Yes, I've been a malware analyst for almost 20 years now. And I had my first interactions with a computer virus 35 years ago when I was a teen. And back then, either I have a very old French book of behind me of the virus signatures, but actually a magazine was saying telling us, the readers, how to remove the virus by hand, in hexadecimal. So you have this virus. Here is what you need to search and replace in your boot sector. How to fix a virus in 89. So yes, I've been a malware for some time. I've covered a few viruses and so on in my past. And I'm still working as a malware analyst at Google Mandiant in the Flare team. So now let's do this object stream. And now you could put whatever in your stream object. You could put whatever is in your stream object, and this will be just completely ignored, as long as it's not an end stream character. But really, this is completely like crazy, and even if this object is not referenced. So here I just had the fun to even put an object, but with different regeneration number. I never tried this trick before, but let's see if it works. And let's see, TJ. TJ, you can also do a quote like this if you want instead of TJ, but doesn't matter. And it doesn't work. Did I do something wrong? Is it because I screwed my file too much? Let's try differently. Maybe I screwed my file too much. So let's try a different generation number, T0 object. Oh, it works. So basically, because most likely because a new generation overrides the previous one or something. But you give a object number that is not a reference anywhere, and then you put whatever in the stream, and this is just totally ignored. So this shows you how much a valid. Thank you. So Buff Garlic Hero said, I created a PDF JPEG polyglot following your POC or GTFO articles. They're really cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah, creating polyglots is fun, and basically PDF is making it so easy. It's a playground for abuses. Playground for. No, it's not. I'm still looking for a better acronym, but yeah, the P of PDF should be playground. Playground data diffuse fantasy. I don't know. So what did I? Why mileage? Mileage was my mileage. This mileage. Oh, this is because I changed that. I forgot I was updating that. So what did I create? I created 100 with the number 100 that is referenced nowhere, and this is just totally ignored. And the file still works. And so basically now you can very easily, let's see if it works with Adobe, and it works. So basically you can see that this file PDF just enables you to create to put whatever payload you want in the in any stream object anywhere, not anywhere in the file, but really you can put it arbitrarily. And the thing is, now that I created this file, if I would give it to a tool like MuTool and just ask me to clean the file, it most likely will not remove this extra object, because unless it's been specifically asked to do garbage collection. Yeah, no, that's a definitely an off-topic question. Maybe I will do a stream on that, but yeah, I'm not going to cover the malware analyst topic altogether right now. Right now I'm focusing on the PDF and abuses. So now this should not be valid too much, but anyway, it's recovered. And again, we have an object that I added manually, and this object is just being totally ignored by the parsers, whether it's Adobe, whether it's Sumatra or whatever. And most likely, if I apply MuTool on it, let's try actually. So this is my test file. And if I apply MuTool on it, MuTool clean on it, it creates out file that is a lot bigger. And this is a bit funny, but let's open the out file that it created. You can see that it exactly kept the same structure of the file. The same contents, weird offset is kept. The object 100 is kept identically, but now it has a proper length. And because it's a bit stupid, it decided that there is an ability to skip. It's a bit stupid. There is an ability to skip some numbers that are not being used by the Xref. But here, nope, it decided to create an Xref until the end. Just this is a mistake of MuTool. Maybe I'm using an old version. I don't know. But now MuTool just created a file with exactly my payload. Still the same weird structure, but now this file should be totally valid. It has the right length. It has the right offsets and everything. And just with the MuTool clean operator. And maybe let's see with this file with Adobe Reader, it works, but when I close it, oh, it still does a warning. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, maybe because the PDF, the object is for. So this file is now much more standard, and MuTool thankfully kept the whole file very identically. So now we can try this again, as I mentioned before. If you want to have a very, very precise alignment for whatever construct you want, then, for example, you just add a fake variable here that is not being referenced in the spec, and then you calculate. Okay, let's do it. File alignment, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a fake value. And now, hopefully, MuTool will recreate a file that has kept exactly. Yeah, I want to modify to reload, and you see it has kept everything. It has kept, and as far as I remember, it keeps them in the same order, which makes it super predictable, which is awesome for hash collisions where you need every bit perfectly planned. Okay, so yeah, so this is short. This is a short stream, and but now we actually covered everything from PDF. The structure, we can do whatever we want. We can do a lot of hacks with the white space. We can move things around. We can add dummy objects. We can rename the object number if we want, and basically you can do that with any file that is in the wild. So you can now automate that on any file that you got from you want to abuse someone, or a file can be made, or you want to download this slide deck. I could make the slide deck uh, exactly as you want, but there will be an extra payload somewhere, and you can add whatever you want. If there is no known signature before the PDF signature, you can abuse further with line commands, and then you can put whatever you want in the dummy objects, and you can even add a lot of them. So that just shows how easy to control the PDF structure is, how you know all the polyglots I did. I think the most relied on similar things. And the last thing I didn't mention is, but it's more like case by case in this case, is for ambiguous file. What I used to call schizophrenic files is whenever, for example, you would put uh, what if you write directly something about it, will it be ignored or something, or you removed something internally, and you hope that if you put another object in the end stream, it would be interpreted differently with readers. But again, this is not a generic trick to all PDF readers, and that would be very specific. But there's probably an endless list of abuses you can do between different readers. So I think that's all I have today regarding PDF file abuse. But again, it's extremely powerful. Also, a lot of stuff you can add after the trailer end of file will maybe very likely ignored. So, but why would you do that when you can just put whatever you want in a dummy stream object? So, unless you have questions, I'm reading the chat one last time. Unless you have questions, then yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for attending live. And hopefully you learn some stuff. Let me know if you have any suggestions, and or let me know of your weird PDF files online, or maybe in the wild, because some files happen in the wild. Um, yeah, yeah, and yeah, thanks. I also hope that I will have my heating fixed very soon. Thankfully tomorrow morning, because it's getting a bit cold here. But yeah, I mean, with a warm jacket inside, it's perfectly fine. Thanks for the message, and yes, have a nice time, and thanks for attending. See you. Bye bye, everyone. Thanks a lot.